contemplate the workings of the inner being, your eyes are wide open, but are you really seeing?
So when you look at a lot of the work that all of us do, regardless of what medium, whether through medicine or therapy or whatever, when you're able to help a body to build resiliency again through sensory modulation, whether through sound or sensation. And so it's something that I've actually taken a lot of tools and practices from lots of different types of work, which we'll talk over the weekend, that offers people a new perspective so that they're able to elevate the way that they perceive. They can see it from a different view than what they could before. And so as I explore things, I don't only explore what's in the field of what I'm learning, because we can be quite limited in what we're exposed to. And so by actually looking to other industries, we can find like, oh, I had all these preconceived notions of like how to explore the human body or the human mind or the human heart or whatever. And so it was something that it has nothing to do with pain or anything like that. It has to do with, it can be the sensation of bird feathers, of someone flying, of someone being free or grounding them back in their body. There's actually in New Zealand with some of the Maori tribe, they have therapies specifically around sensory modulation where they're just using feathers on the skin so that the person can start to perceive with their body, because it's been numb for so long, whether because of trauma or experiences or surgery or PTSD or anything like that. So it's really helping to reframe the body's experience, maybe to touch or proximity. If someone had a lot of pain, then any touch at all could be quite painful for them, because their body is so activated at the thought of human touch that they feel the pain before they're even in it. So it's kind of like a perpetual state. And so by using different tools or senses or music, it helps to access the nervous system in a different way and maybe push the edges, but only enough for the person to be able to breathe and calm themselves down. So you're building the muscle of resiliency, actually. What we have found in our work is the difference of transformation isn't trauma or not trauma. It's the person's resiliency, their ability to bounce back, their ability to stand up again, no matter what knocks them down. And that's why for some kids, their dad not letting them take the car to go to prom was enough to be too much, that they don't want to live anymore. And other people have just had hit after hit of traumatic events, and they keep going. And so much of that, and what we'll talk about with Les, is what it is to stay the course, what it is to continue to get up and be inspired and surround yourself with people and places that fortify that feeling that uplifts you. But you do, in order to grow, have to push those limitations a little bit, push to grow. But if you push someone too fast, they shut down. And so that's part of the skill of facilitation, is learning how to notice with someone that you're getting up to their threshold. So you got to back off. Again, that taking some breaths and actually slowing it down for people. When you're ready, Mr. Brown, we are ready. Yes.
I was so engaged in taking notes on what you were saying, and I want you to continue because I'm hungry to hear what you say. You were dropping knowledge on me, and I said, "You're never too old to learn, and you're never too young to teach."
Right.
So how are you?
That's right. Well, Mr. Brown, we've been here. Hey, you know what? I am incredible. Because let me tell you something, Mr. Les Brown. When I joined Hungry to Speak in January, and I read your book, and I said, I'm hungry. I got the book, I joined the program immediately. And I said to my husband, Ta, I said, Ta, I'm going to speak on the stage with Les Brown. It's only been 2 months, less, or 3 months, whatever we're at, math. Other people do math for me. But here's the thing, Mr. Brown. Every time I heard your stories on Clubhouse, every time I saw your motivational quotes, the hunger just grew. I'm gonna get a little emotional. Well, I'm a lot emotional, let's be honest. My gratitude for you inspiring me to bring my story back. I used to be a professional speaker, but I stopped because I was tired of living in the pain that I was just sharing over and over again. I got tired of the story. And I said, I'm not my story anymore. Forget the story. And then you said, your story is what changes lives. And I said, okay, Mr. Brown, my story. I can bring the story back, but I don't know how to tell it. So I got on the calls and I listened. And I started to go, anything is possible. But I used to believe that anything that was possible was all the bad stuff that happened, that if I went horseback riding, I got kicked off and kicked in the face. If I went on a date, I'd be taken advantage of. When I tried a substance, I ended up in a coma. I believed anything could happen, but I thought everything bad happened to me. And now I live in a life that anything is possible because I have people like Les Brown and the other 65 people in this room that I met on Clubhouse that I said they're hungry like I am. And so we all gathered, and most of them flew here to Austin, Texas for the first time being in a group. And so when you decided to be here, I was like, stop it. This is incredible. This is life. And I get to now see that anything is possible in faster things than I ever imagined because of you and your team, because of John Leslie and your family. And I would love for you to share about Hungry to Speak. This is my partner, my love, my everything, Ta Whitty.
Bro, I hear you every day.
It's true.
Love it, man. Thank you for contributing.
Thank you.
So deeply, family. I appreciate you, man. I always have, and I never imagined having a conversation or a volley with you. I've always been in awe of you and the way you contribute to the world. Thank you for who you are, brother. I appreciate you deeply.
And Mr. Brown, you said your goal now was to train as many people for impact as you could. And just from the 3 months I've been in your program, there's 65 more people here that will go back to their communities hungry to share and to teach. So I'm honored to be a part of your mission to get more people out to inspire and change this world, because the people in this room are changing the world in their own ways and in many ways. So thank you, and it's an honor to push your dream further forward.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak for you. And I want to thank you and Tar for bringing the light at a time where people need it now more than ever before, a time where there's so many people that's in pain, feeling hopeless and powerless, and a great deal of anxiety. And I want to share with you some things that will have value for you, things that you already know, but sometimes we need to be reminded of what we already know, and things that can help you to grow your practice, to increase your cash flow and your following. And so I want you to write down, I have a power voice. I have a power voice. I want you to write that down. And there's a reason that I'm asking you to write this down, because this voice that you hear now is not my voice that I've always spoken from. And it's a voice that, after coaching and training and experiences we learn through observation, through demonstration, and through experiences. And when you think about who you are and what you want to achieve, being messengers of healing, helping people to get an expanded vision of themselves, helping people to rise above the adversities that they're facing, that your ability to communicate is very important. I've been on Clubhouse a very short time. I have over 86,000 people on Clubhouse. And I'm going to share with you, I have on my Facebook, altogether with all the platforms, over 3 million. And I want to share with you what can happen in your practice, with your target audience, and with the people that you want to serve. And I want you to write this down, please. My story has value. Your story has value. Steve Jobs said the storyteller is the most powerful person in the world. When Chrysler was facing a challenge in the automobile industry, they hired Lee Iacocca to tell the story, to make them more competitive, So when Steve Jobs said the storyteller is the most powerful person in the world, wow, he demonstrated that. He would mount a computer, and people will set up camp outside of the various stores, Apple stores, and sleep outside. We've never seen that before. They set up camps to buy a computer, to touch a computer, to see a computer that they only heard a story about. They didn't even know if it worked or not. They just heard the story. There's no saying you can take a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. However, if you know how to tell a story strategically, you can create a thirst where they want to drink. As speakers, as healers, as any profession that you're involved in, you have a power voice. And to be able to tell the story about your business, to tell the story about your expertise, to tell the story about what it is that you do, the knowledge that you have acquired is very important. I remember I was talking to Dr. Alfred Golson, who's one of the top oncologists in the country. And he said, Mr. Brown, I said, yes, sir. He said, you have fourth stage cancer. I said, I do? Yeah. He said, your PSA, which stands for prostate specific antigen, is 2,400. I said, what does that mean? He said, 1 to 4 is normal. And the cancer has metastasized to 7 areas of your body, eating 43% of your vertebrae. And it's in your spine. I said, wow. He said, why are you smiling? I said, 7 is my lucky number. He looked at his secretary and said, this is a strange one here. I said, I'm one of 7 children. My birthday is February the 17th. Joshua marched around the walls of Jericho 7 times. Naaman dipped himself in the river Jordan 7 times. 7 is my lucky number. He said, boy, you are unusual. I said, is there anything else? He said, yes. I said, what is it? He said, you're ugly too. I said, you didn't call me ugly, did you? I said, no, you did not go there. He said, I did go there. You're ugly, but you got this. He said, I never tell my patients they're terminally ill. What I say is that my knowledge and my ability to help you and my skills have terminated. I determine the diagnosis, you and God determines the prognosis. So as a result, most people are in a fearful place. They forget everything and run. But there are some people who face everything and rise. So I left there with a heart full of faith. Faith not tested can't be trusted. Not fear, because God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of power and of love and of sound mind. And so let me share with you what he did with me and that I do with audiences and that you do every day in your practice. I want you to write this down: distract, dispute, and inspire. That life-defining moment with Dr. Alfred Golson took place 29 years ago. I'm in Atlanta. I was at Cancer Centers of America 3 weeks ago and said, Mr. Brown, your PSA is 0.0 minus 1. They said, this is amazing. On your record at one time was 2,400. And so my oncologist said, I want you to talk to my father. And so what you do as healers, what you do as coaches, what you do as speakers, what we do, people who have a hunger to make a difference in people's lives. How people live their lives is a result of the story they believe about themselves. And what you do is, one, distract them from their self-explanatory style that psychologists call. And you distract them from their story. And through your presentation, the knowledge that you've acquired, the experiences that you have, the things that you've achieved, the things that you have witnessed, you dismantle their current belief system. distract, dispute, and inspire. And you inspire them to take a new look at their lives. You inspire them to rise above the adversities of what they're facing. You inspire them to say to themselves, I got this. This has not come to stay. This has come to pass. You inspire them to become defiant. You inspire them to fight. That life is a fight for territory. And once you stop fighting for what you want, what you don't want will automatically take over. And so your voice is needed. It's needed. And what's so very important now for you, based upon my own experience, you got to take care of you first. Ian Levon said, this is worth writing down. Give to yourself until your cup runneth over. And then give to others from the overflow. Give to yourself until your cup runneth over, and then give to others from the overflow. I was trying to help my twin brother lose weight, and I gained 25 pounds. Because I had depleted my energy. I was giving to everyone except me. I was the go-to person in the family. I sent a letter out retiring from being Mr. ATM. They rejected my resignation, but I didn't care. I sent it back again. Take time to take care of you. When I get up in the morning, I say, Lord, whatever I face today, together, you and I can handle it. And I recite a scripture that says all things work together for good for those who love God and for those who are called according to his purpose. And then I read 30 to 40 pages of something positive in the morning, first thing. Why? Because I'm setting up my day to win. See, whatever you see when you first get up in the morning, whatever you listen to, the first 20 minutes will affect the spirit of your day. I want you to write this down. What you listen to, you turn into. What you listen to, you turn into. People say, oh, garbage in, garbage out. No, garbage in, garbage stays. This is a time, for the first time in the history of the world, we have algorithms that know more about ourselves than we do, because most people don't take the time to do what you're doing now. Self-discovery. What is it that drives you? Mark Twain said the two most important things in your life, the two most important days in your life, the day that you're born and the day that you realize why you were born. And so this is a discovery process, because there are things that you can do, things that you're able to accomplish. You were sent here to do the greater work. You were chosen out of 400 million sperm. You're not here by accident. Even this meeting here, even your showing up here, even being in this room at this time, I know based upon my 76 years on the planet, everything matters. All the stuff that you've gone through, all the stuff that I've gone through, it all matters. I just found out this past weekend something that I had not known. For the first time in my 76 years on the planet, I saw a picture of my birth mother. I'm adopted. And my birth father. I'm adopted. God, I always say when I'm speaking for major corporations, God took me out of my biological mother's womb and placed me in the heart of my adopted mother. I'm here because of two women. One gave me life. The other one gave me love. I feel like Abraham Lincoln, who said, all that I am and all that I ever hope to be, I owe to my mother. I'm writing a song now. I'm taking voice lessons. I know there's a Johnny Mathis voice in me, or a John Legend. I got two mothers and I'm not ashamed. I got two mothers and I love them just the same. I won't finish the song because you can't handle the voice. Oh, BG, hello. So my life, I realized something I've said, and write this out. Life is based upon disruptions, transformation, and decisions. Disruptions. The coronavirus is a disruption. 47 million people lost their job to artificial intelligence and robots. That's a disruption. Creative disruption. Disruption. Transformation. We have to transform ourselves. We're in that place where Einstein was. He said, the thinking that has brought me this far has created some problems that this thinking can't solve. We got to throw our nets on the other side. This is the era, what the 3 C's that was talked about by Peter Drucker. Accelerated change, overwhelming complexity, and tremendous competition. Robert Schuller said something that's important. You either expand or you're expendable. This time you have to expand your mind. You have to expand your repertoire. You have to become versatile and adaptable and be willing to learn. If you're not willing to learn, no one can help you. If you're willing to learn, no one can stop you. I'm telling you what I know.
Yeah.
No one could have believed or predicted that Les Brown, born in Liberty City in Miami, Florida, an abandoned building on a floor with his twin brother, taken in as a foster kid, adopted, labeled educable mentally retarded in the 5th grade, put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade, failing again at Booker T. Washington High School in Overtown in Miami, being in special education all through school. No one would have been able to project that I'll be speaking to a room full of healers, doctors, and individuals who are changing people's lives. Look at God. That there are things that you're going to do. There are abilities and talents and things that you're going to discover about yourself that you don't know right now. Abilities that you have that eye has not seen, ear has not heard, nor has entered the heart of mankind what God has in store for you. And so I want to share with you my journey, because the journey that I have left is much shorter than the journey that brought me here. And so here's what it's important right now. I want you to think about your goals in your personal life. My first major goal was to buy my adopted mother a home. What's a personal goal that you want to achieve? Now it's to get a 6-pack. I got 1-pack right now that's very brilliant, but the 5-pack's covered up. I'm tired of them. I got a T-shirt that says 6-pack cometh soon. It can't come soon enough. But as you think about yourself and your goals and dreams, my goal is to train the most talented and gifted speakers on the planet, the best storytellers on the planet, to change the collective culture of the planet. Evil prevails when good men and women do nothing. Benjamin Franklin said, those who are unaffected, things are not going to change until those who are unaffected are as outraged as those who are affected. And so I want you to think about your goals and your dreams. And I want you to think about what is it you want to achieve in your personal life and in your financial life. What is your financial freedom number? What is that number? It's a good thing to know that. Aim at nothing, hit nothing, dead on the head. People say, money won't make you happy. Yeah, okay. They never had any. Red Fox said, money can't make you happy, but it can make a hell of a down payment. I'm telling you, I used to be so broke, I walk past a bank and trip the alarm. When creditors call the house, my children would answer the phone and say, my daddy say he ain't home. Oh my God. Oh boy, I was be so broke when the roaches moved out. I said, no, you know what? We out of here. Y'all don't have enough food right here. Mamie ain't baking no sweet potato pies. We out of here. As Toffler said, willing to unlearn and relearn. If you're not willing to learn, no one can help you. If you're willing to learn, no one can stop you. And as you look at yourself and look where we are, this is a place where by the third year of college, everything in the curriculum is obsolete. And so we have to run just to stand still. And if you're not ahead of the curve, if you're not ahead of technology, you will get trampled. And so you have to stay at the top of your game. Kindred spirits, people, iron sharpening iron, ownership mindset, taking charge of your life and learning all you can so that you can control your own personal economy, so you can have the best practice, and you're so good at what you do that you cannot be ignored. The word of mouth will go out. Say, if you really serious about getting the help that you need, this is the person that you need to go see, because this is the attention economy. You've got to call attention with how good you are, so that people, in spite of their marketing plans, in spite of their branding, you are so good that the people you serve become your advertising agents. And they go out and tell the world about you. I met a woman and she knows all about me. I met a woman and she asked me, who's the matter with you? I met a woman who helped me to realize when I went home that night, when I looked at my husband, I said to myself, I feel lonely whenever you are around. And I got the courage to get out. Oh boy, it's cool.
So my question is, what do you do to have fun, Les Brown?
What I'm doing now, this is fun to me. I love my life. I live the life I love, and I love the life I live. A job is what you get paid for. This is my calling. A calling is what you're made for. I love you. I was looking forward to doing this for you. I put a lot of thought and work. I spent several hours reading to prepare for this, to deliver a message that will have value for you and for these people in this room that you love so very much. Because here's what I know about you. You live a heart-centered life. Here's what I know about you. You are committed to live a life that will outlive you. Here's what I know about you. That you're a masterpiece because you're a piece of the master. That you love people so much, you give of yourself. Anybody who knows you, this is not something that you're in it, it's in you. And you have what I call the can't helps it. You just can't help yourself. I got it too. The can't helps it. You know, just like many of those people in that room where you are, and that's who you attract. They got the can't helps it. They love to help people. It's their passion. It's in their heart. They're not being practical and logical about this thing called life. They have decided to design a life that's them. They've decided to jump out of line and represent the highest that's in them. They've said to themselves when they look in the mirror, do you. Bet on you. Take a chance on you. Take a chance on your insight, your knowledge, your experiences. Take a chance on that which resonates in your heart, because where your heart is, there your treasure is also. And what other people think of you is none of your business. Do you. You are an unrepeatable miracle. Do you. With everything in you. A.L. Williams said, all you can do is all you can do. And all you can do is enough, but make sure you do all you can do. This has been Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. It's been a plum-pleasing pleasure, as well as a privilege. God bless you. God bless your dream, and God bless your practice, whatever that is. Bye for now.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. I send you love. I send you support for your family. I send you congratulations on finally getting to see your birth parents, something you waited your whole life for. So much more
Yes,
to come in this next opening of your life, and we're uplifting you and your family in gratitude.
I appreciate you, loved one, and we are having their transition service tomorrow, who died from KV-19. So hold us in prayer. I appreciate you so much. I hope that I brought some value to your audience today. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Hi,
much.
Mr.
God
Brown.
bless
Thank you
you.
so much. Have a
Thank
beautiful
you.
week.
Yes, thank you. Bye for now.
Oh, and it started dying, was getting fuzzier. When I interrupted the flow, I was like, as soon as I started doing it, I was like, no. It's like when you know, it's one of those. And it was, as it was coming out, I was like, literally in slow motion, like, don't interrupt Les Brown. So, how was that? How did that sit with y'all? So, I wanted to leave today. Really, this worked out everything in perfect alignment. I'm not going to do much to close for today. So I'm going to say a few things and have Ta say a few things, because we did process a lot, and that's such a beautiful space to be. And if you had any doubt about the magic that you are, I hope that you will also take a moment to see that in each other, because you literally have so many things in common you haven't uncovered yet that can support each other, that can really help to elevate a lot of these missions and a lot of the things that we're doing here. So as you go through the weekend, just asking someone, tell me your story right now. It could change. We've all got different aspects and components of our story. But know that everything that you need to know about this space is in this room, really. Or at least someone that has the next step or the next resource or some other books you can read. And as we get the tribe.so club up and like functioning on that other space that will integrate with Telegram, I'm freezing. I was sitting there, I was like under the draft, I was like, Know that in that space, we're going to share more resources. Because again, you're hearing our perspective. We're sharing each other's perspective so that you can consider, so that you can grow. But ultimately, it's about trusting yourself. You got this. You have so far survived every hard day you have ever had. There's some people that aren't here to say that right now. So as you go through the weekend, remembering to be easy with yourself. If you're not retaining everything, or if you're not sure what's going on, this may be a new space for you, and that's perfect too. And if you're meeting people that feel like they know everything, remember it is their perspective, just like it is our perspective. It's not a rule. So just be mindful as you consume and take in perspectives that it's still somebody else's perspective. What's true for you? And our goal through the weekend is for you to help identify what's true for you and who you speak to. Because we all speak different languages. The how I talk to my parents is different than how I talk to my grandkids. How I talk to them is different than how I talk to my dogs. Like everyone has a voice I'm speaking to. And know that you don't have to be limited to one. And with what Les was saying about your story, you have so much to offer there if you'll let people in. And trust people, trust to share the story in a space where people can hold your story. And it took me a long time, and I'm still working on sharing where it isn't through a victim space, but just through I'm sharing if you want to get to know me. And so as you're going through the weekend, talking to each other, asking for feedback, integrating it, and this is going to continue on beyond this, as far as the dialogue, the key thing was to create community so that it wasn't reliant on two people giving information that limits accessibility once again, if there's a bottleneck. So as you go through, discern, decide, and see what resonates in your heart and trust yourself.